All right, welcome everybody to our penultimate match of round of 16 5-digit World Cup 2026. And oh boy, even though it's one of the last matches, this one is gonna be worth of your attention because we got a generational matchup, a rematch of Russia versus United Kingdom, the clash of empires, if you will, Seed 5 versus Seed 11, and this one I personally am very excited to commentate because, you know, those two have great history in 5EC. First of all, we have Russia, they are the 5EC champions, and we have United Kingdom, who are the runner-ups. They have beef with each other, and United Kingdom is out here for the revenge. And I don't know about you, Wilman, but I am hella ready to see this one.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you mentioned it before, right? These two have had a pretty long history with each other, given that they were the top two in 5VC, and now they're going to be facing in the 5-digit World Cup, but on a much lower star rating pool, right? Which is, I think, going to be the key factor here. I think both these countries obviously skew very well into the higher SRs, but it's a matter of how well they can perform against each other on this lower SR, where consistency is often the name of the game here. I'm going to be kicking stuff off with the protects and the bans here, and we see Nomad 5 being protected for Russia, meanwhile Nomad 6 being protected from United Kingdom here. Pretty interesting for both of them to end up going with a gimmick protect here. I mean, Nomad 5 I think makes sense for Russia, but the Nomad 6 is raising a few eyebrows for me. I feel like Nomad 6 is not really the type of map that you protect, just because it's a map that's very heavily dependent on how you perform on the day. I think it's one of the more accessible maps of this pool, but you know, on a wrong day with the precision, it's just not, it's not always going to go your way, even if you are just incredibly strong on it during practice. But we'll have to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, I do hear it out, if I were United Kingdom, that Nomad 6 protect. Since you look at Russia, yes, they are seed 5, they're very well rounded, but somehow the lowest seeding they got in qualifiers was at Hard Rock 2, which is a precision map. They got seed 20 on this one. Nomad 6 is also precision. And, you know, the fact that Russia bans Hard Rock 2 is already good enough for me to validate that protect from United Kingdom. On top of that, Russia also gets rid of Nomad 4 because, first things first, it is a 5-minute long map. No one wants to play that. Second of all, United Kingdom, they are really strong when it comes down to control. We all saw it in 5UC. That was almost solely the reason why United Kingdom managed to push Russia back all the way to tiebreaker over there. And for United Kingdom, it looks like it's going to be, first things first, DT3, your speedy tag map. And DT2, yep, alright. Yeah, the perfect pair of bans from United Kingdom, just getting rid of that raw tapping test. DT2, SenchKK custom map, not gonna be on the table today. So yeah, that looks pretty good, and with that we're just gonna wait and see for the first pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think this DT2, DT3 combo here, ban coming out from the United Kingdom, makes a lot of sense. I think, you know, even in the lower SR, they can field players for these sort of speed maps pretty comfortably, but I think sometimes, you know, the third or fourth player can struggle a little bit, right? And when you're going against a team such as Russia, who is just so dominant on the DTs, I mean, just look at their quals performance. Number 3 on DT2, number 1 on DT3. It's pretty understandable why UK don't really want to touch this tapping DT mechanics at all. And it looks like UK is going to be opening up with a Nomad 3 pick here. Pretty expected, given that, you know, Philoxen, as you've been talking about, United Kingdom just love their control, right?
Indeed. It's like, yeah, not even looking at the roster changes. Like, yes, they got a couple of new players in 5WC compared to 5EC. They got the addition of Silva and Dragonfire. who are pretty good on gimmicks and tapping, but they still have that insanely strong core of players for those control maps. Solely, it's going to be Wiggler and also Umaroth and Hamster and pretty much everyone else that you have on the team. They love their control stuff, and that Nomad 3 is a custom map from Chiari, a phenomenal map. You should definitely check it out, and it will feature a lot of those flow aim patterns. It does have a bit of snap alt, but I would say it's like 70% flow alt and 30% snap alt spread on this one. It's also pretty long. It is 4 minutes long, so you will need a hell lot of consistency for this one. And I feel like United Kingdom know what they're doing, but of course you see Russia, you see the 4 horsemen, the 4 carries of the team, you see Raging Dashi, the newbie in those tournaments, who was one of the key figures in 5EC in Grand Finals, and you also see Mozart and Icestone. That is a deadly duo, especially Icestones. We all saw what he did in 5EC Grands. And also you have Frenin, who is just overall really strong on those control maps and aim maps. They are going to be trying to counter Wiggler, Marone, Sparkly Fairy, and Umaroth. And with that, Russia, we shall just wait and see if they can keep their throne and not fall down by the end of this match. And the start is going to be the Nomad 3.
And yeah, just to talk about this map a little bit, I mean, you already mentioned it a lot, but it's gonna be about the ult consistency, right? Like, this map sits at almost 4 minutes in length, and, you know, it is generally pretty consistent throughout. There are, you know, these constant sort of ulti patterns that can really trip you up. A lot of doubles, a lot of wiggles, a lot of tricky stuff to catch these players out, and looks like we are seeing some early breaks across the board, actually. Morale and Meowzart for both sides to find the early break here, but I think this map, you know, really relies on those pop-offs, those really large combos that are able to hold through large sections of the map, and that's just going to be the deciding factor here. As it stands right now, the scoreline is looking pretty even, just 4k separates these two teams, but as we get into this first KI here, we might start to see some of these FCs start to falter.
Well, Frenin being the first one of them, Mozart does recover, but that is gonna give a very strong foot into United Kingdom. However, the carry of the team, Whaler, is trading Frenin. But look at Russia, they're just crumbling apart with that. The unbreakable wall is falling apart right off the bat. We're only entering the first guy, and look at United Kingdom. The two-way FC and the support from Ro Umar and Sparkly Fairy leading the charge right here, and they are not softening their grip with them as we are slowly but surely exiting the first KI.
And yeah, as we move out of that first KI here, Umaroth and Sparkly Fairy 400 are gonna be rewarded with a little bit of a tamer section right now. It's just a matter of how far they can make these full combos go, right? They're still only about 160k score lead, which, you know, with one half of the map still left to go, and with all 4 players on Russia looking pretty solid on the recoveries, they're going to need to hold, right? It's just whether they can hold, right?
Yeah, and United Kingdom, they're still holding the line like it is their last stand, as we're already halfway through the map. Russia is on their tail, but you have that safety buffer of 200k, of 200,000k score. Umar though finding the break as we're entering that second KI, getting tripped out by that snap alt pattern, and was that Russia is going to be catching up. They see that break. They understand that there is no room for error now. This is the point of no return. Last third of the map left. Another break. And with that, Russia, slowly but surely, they will be getting their hands on that scoreline with them.
They're just trying to pull it back ever so slowly. It's at 150k now, but there really isn't a lot of combo on UK to try and keep it on their side. That score lead is just going down by the second. That FC from Sparkly Fairy 400 is only going to do so much when all 4 players on the Russian side are just holding immense combos. And with Sparkly Fairy 400 finding the break, I mean, it is treated by Meowzart, but that's only gonna favor Russia now. UK just don't really have any large combos except on Wiggle, and that score lead is only going down.
Russia is marching forward, no signs of slowing down. Only Mozart was the break, but Raging Dash and Printing and Ice Stones, that is more than enough to flip the table. And here we are. This is the climax of the map, but Raging Dash was a break. Hold on, it is not done for United Kingdom. Wheeler with the recovery and 500 combo from Ro and Umarat. It is not done. It's gonna go down to the wire, and I think United Kingdom got this. I think United Kingdom got this last 5 seconds, and yeah, 12k. Wait, hold on. Ooh. First point. And that one instantly gave me a flashback from 5UC, because United Kingdom in the really similar fashion, like first 3 or 4 points they got on their board, it was usually that 5k score difference between them and Russia, and now it repeats all over again over here in the 5WC. Yeah, not again. You see that from Ro getting flashbacks. That's right. I just love this matchup.
I think this is exactly what you expect from 2 teams of this caliber, right? United Kingdom just known for being so extraordinary on this control, and Russia just being the absolute behemoth that they are, just be able to contest on anything. Just UK having that slight advantage into the very end there and giving them that first crucial pick, giving them up to 1-0. And now it's Russia to try and immediately respond with their own pick. And I think, you know, they have quite a lot they can go with here, right? I think there's some obvious angles like the No Mod 2 and the Free Mod 1 leaning into that tapping aspect, which UK seem to not like at all. But also, I don't know, they could go with something completely different, right? They could save those tapping picks for later, but you know, I think tapping is just one of those skill sets which is very dominant if you are able to play it well against your opponent, right? And it does look like Russia is going to be going straight into that tapping abuse, going straight into the Free Mod 1 speed.
Yeah, spot on with this one. Russia, they've been very famous for their tapping skills and their gimmick skills, but looks like tapping comes first. Free Mod 1, 240 BPM. Consistency, speed, aim, and also there are 2 really tiring stamina speed sections in this map after each of the KIs. There's only 2 KIs in the map, so yeah, it is not really long, but the sheer amount of tapping that you have in this one is going to be more than enough for Russia to try and completely skill cap United Kingdom on this one, since after all, United Kingdom, they banned DD2, DD3. They are clearly not so comfortable when it comes to raw tapping, and Russia, those Russian players are just cracked, Will. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know how many of you guys in the chat saw that, but in grand finals of IVC, when Ice Stones was like the only one to FC DD2 in the grand finals, almost FC getting like 1 million team score, and everybody on the side of United Kingdom getting the maximum score of 500k. That was just more than enough for me to see that, yeah, Russia is a whole different breed when it comes to tapping.
I mean, sure, Russia may be very good at that sort of like skill cap tapping. I'm sure they skill very well into tapping once the higher SRs start to hit, but I want to point out that this Free Mod 1 is honestly on the team side as far as tapping maps go. You know, you mentioned those 2 really long tapping sections that really test your 243 BPM speed, but other than that, there isn't much else in this map, and I worry that Russia may end up getting consistency gapped, right? I think there is fully the potential for Russia to just find misses on that crucial halfway tapping section and UK to be able to steal the point. But I mean, you've mentioned, right, Russia is just so good on the tapping that it's going to take a bit of luck for that situation to occur, so we will just have to see how this one plays out.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And we do see Sound Boomer Demand the Miss the Legend. Arguably the strongest gimmick player in this tournament is here. And he's playing easy HD. The easy multiplayer is counted in the scoreboard, so we do not have to do any other calculations by the end of the map. And with that, we have a very strong start from both countries. holding very respectable accuracies, but soon enough, the first KI is starting, and this is where we shall wait and see which team's consistency is better with them.
Yeah, I mean, we're really just waiting for that first big tapping section to kick in. Actually, Morale is the first one on UK to falter here. Russia still holding that 4 AFC and UK still holding all other combos here. But we're not even at the intense section yet, and that's really where we expect to see the misses. So Morale losing out on that combo there is crucial. And we get into this section now, everyone looking so strong. Some act drops on the side of UK actually, but everyone else, never mind, Raging Dashi is the one to fall for the side of Russia here. And unresponded, never mind, Nuex, Shimui, and Wiggler all falling at the end of that tapping section. Absolutely devastating here for the side of United Kingdom, and Russia is still holding that 3-way FC out of that section. That is really not good for the side of UK here.
Yeah, Russia just burned all the defenses of United Kingdom to ashes. There's only one combo on row, and if you look at Russia, there's Sound Boomers and Easy HDFC and a double FC from Ice Tones with an overmod as well, and Wavy with no mod. The damage has been done, and now United Kingdom, they need to see a catastrophe from Russia. But now, as it's only 1/4 of the map left, the Russian machine keeps rolling, and they do not seem to stop by any means, Wilhelm. That is pure dominance from them on their tapping maps that we've all been expecting. And this is the type of performance you're expecting from your 5EC champions.
Going into this final tapping section here, and really the question on everyone's minds is just how far can Russia take it? They're still holding those 3 FCs to the very end here, and with the recovery combo and Dashi here, Ice Tones may finally find the break, but that is a 3.6 million team score there for Russia, absolutely blowing UK's performance out of the water and securing that first point on the board. I mean, this is just an incredible showing, and just goes to show how dominant this Russian roster is on the raw mechanics tapping.
Yeah, 2 bans are not gonna save United Kingdom from Russia taking other tapping maps that are left in the pool. And yeah, no, that free mod 1 was probably the sharpest tool in the chat against United Kingdom, because other than that, there is no mod 2, but for United Kingdom, no mod 2 is not going to be such big of a problem compared to this free mod 1, which is complete 240 BPM tapping check. So it's not going to be that shabby for United Kingdom later into the match, because Russia will have to change their strategies. The only problem is that tapping is not the only thing Russia's good at. So if they change the strategy, it's still most likely gonna work. It's now just the question of United Kingdom coming up with their next pick.
And I think United Kingdom at this angle, I think they're going to be looking at more control, right? Even though the No Mod 3 was pretty divisive, or sorry, not divisive at all, sorry, it was very close between the two teams. I think it's kind of their only main angle of attack here, right? I don't think it's worth the risk of going into, you know, the more conventional im picks. So I'm looking at maybe a sort of hidden 2 and hidden 3 pick, but actually United Kingdom is going to go straight into the Protect as their second pick, going into the No Mod 6 hyper precision map here.
Oof. Yeah, and this Duality, the Protect, and Wilhelm, I mean, this is the one we've already talked about multiple times. It is the lowest SR map in the pool that we have. And we also discussed the difficulty that, yeah, it might be one of the most accessible even maps in this pool, despite being a precision gimmick. But also just looking at most of the matches, it is very rarely that I see like a double or a triple FC from a team on this one. Like, this one is tricky, and the teams that are playing those No Mod 6 maps are not actually so stable. But I think we got 2 pretty cracked teams over here, and if we want to see some insane team scores, I think we could very well expect it from both Russia and the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, this map, to talk about the map itself, as I've said, it's the hyper precision map, gonna be your CS7 AR IT, which, hasn't really been tested in this tournament at all. It's the first time we're getting the No Mod 6 slot in our map pool, but all things considered, it's not that big of a step up per se, because, it's only 0.5 CS higher than the Hard Rock 2, and the spacing in this map really doesn't get wide at all. So I think this is one of the most accessible maps in this pool. But that being said, right, this map is all about your nerve control, right? It's about being able to perform in match, and on a skill slot like precision, that is a tough ask. But when you have two teams that just have so much experience, tournament experience, these two, I think, should be scoring pretty highly, and I think it's going to take quite a bit to get any sort of action in this map. I think it's really going to be about who finds those bricks in the very end that's going to determine the fate of this No Mod 6.
Totally. The question of outlasting each other is gonna be the difference maker by the end of the map. Because so far you look at all the players, the lowest accuracy across the board is just 97 from Umaros, and that is really high for that type of a map. We're opening it up with the first Ki, and Melzard is gonna be the first one to drop first blood over here. That's gonna give the early advantage to United Kingdom. Still though, it is early days. If there's one more break from United Kingdom, it is gonna change drastically. Russia trying to catch up, but of course with Melzard not have seen the map, it's not gonna do much for them, even with the triple FC from Sound Boomer, Wavy and Ice Stones. They see the break, and yeah, game on.
I mean, this map is just very sparse when it comes to combos, so really every sort of break here, every combo that isn't an FC is gonna matter quite a lot. And we're moving into the second half of here with still 7 FCs still intact here. It's really just gonna be who breaks first, who crumbles first. And as we get into this last third of the map, everyone is just looking so still, but it's Mrao on the side of United Kingdom to fall there, but it's treated right back by Ice Tones, and that's going to keep it in UK's favor for now. It's going to be 3 FCs to 2 with a recovery combo on Meowzart, but time is running out. We're going to need to see more breaks here, but it's Sound Boomer for the side of Russia to fall here, and now Bravery is the only one to contest against this 3-way full combo from Wiggler, Umarov, and Sparkly Fairy. That score lead is already at 375k, and there is just no coming back from this for Russia at all. UK are going to be taking that first protect on their side.
Oh, the Empire strikes back, Willem, right after that Fremont 1 loss. They returned the favor, winning No Mod 6 by over 1 million team score difference. That is colossal. And second point to their board, they must be really happy. Because, usually it takes a lot to get a big difference in score against Russia and win the map. Because usually it's the other way around, but not today. Not today. United Kingdom is saying and getting their second point on the board. Precision, after all, is something they expertise on. And for Russia, yeah, that might be a little threat here. We shall wait and see what they go for next. But for United Kingdom, that No Mod 6, they want it. But it's also like I'm not seeing other precision-based maps. Like it's only Fremont 2, maybe they will go for this one later on, but God knows if they will.
The thing about burning the protect so early is that, you've used up your protect, right? So how many more picks does UK really have? I mean, I think they still have a good proportion of the pool left to potentially go in. I mean, they still have Hidden 2, Hidden 3, and I want to say DT4 and Fremont 2, Fremont 3 are all pretty viable picks here. But as it stands right now, it's going to be Russia going into their next pick here, and they're actually
rolling.
going to be going into their own protector.
Oh, no
going to
way.
go straight into No Mod 5, this reading hell map.
This map, I mean, we'll commentate a bunch of matches here. This map didn't get picked in a single one of them. This one is so diabolical. I don't even want to talk about this one. No, those KIs with those slider hell overlaps, they that does feel like snow irony. Like the top div of snow irony was those sliders always overlapping with you, like Vaka, Renai, Vaka. Yeah, that one. Like same vibe over here. I'm telling you. And
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I mean.
This is
go on.
Russia's dream of a protect. Like I am very confident in their skills on this one.
I think this is a pretty sizable step up from any sort of gimmick map we've seen in this tournament so far, right? I think it's quite a bit harder than, honestly, the Quals No Mod 5 even. And obviously harder than the previous group stage No Mod 5 and Hin 2. So yeah, as you mentioned, this one is going to be all about that snow irony and like stack reading with slider stuff added as well. Really just tricky stuff here. And remind me, this one's AR7, isn't it? Or AR8.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it is AR8, but it feels like there is a lot of overlaps that it could very well feel like an AR6 map. Yeah, in comparison to Snow Irony, to be fair, this one has a lot more slider aim overall. Like, not even in the KIs, but also just in the verses. So yeah, this one not only about your gimmick reading skills, but also some slider aim and your overall control. With that, we are seeing the lineup. Sound Boomer, of course, here for the service. Ice Stones, Vavian, Friending. Gonna be playing against Wiggler, Sparkly Fairy, Rao, and Umaros. Let the battle begin, William.
Yeah, I think UK do have a good chance on this sort of map, but obviously when you're going against a roster like Russia here, it's gonna be tricky to try and take the break point off them, especially on their protect, mind you. Early days, it's going to be Frinden on the side of Russia to find the early break here, and this map isn't long at all, so those early breaks may end up mattering more than expected, but as it stands right now, Russia is still taking the early score lead just based off their immense accuracy. I mean, look at all three of those full combos as we get into this first Ki here. Ice Tones, though, going to be another combo break for the side of Russia now, and Soundboom and Umarov are going to trade it up. That's going to give combo advantage to UK side here into this first Ki.
Whoa, hold on. United Kingdom came prepared. Maro and Umaros might fall down, but you look at the combos, there's double FC from Wiggler and Sparkly Fairy, and only Baby to trade, and that is not gonna be enough. That better not turn into a catastrophe for Russia. It is their protect. Losing a protect that early into a match is gonna be detrimental. And Whaler with Sparkly Fairy are only going to consolidate that score lead because it's a slower part at the moment. Here are these slider jumps though. Let's see if any of our players will get tripped up by those. No, the full combos are holding better than ever. Same for Baby on the side of Russia. And still things are undecided, but for United Kingdom things are looking quite great right now, Willem.
I mean, yeah, it's only 200k here, but time is running out for Russia, and those two FCs from UK just don't look like they are going anywhere. Wiggler may find the break here, but the question is there enough time for Rivery to try and take this one back? I mean, Sparkly Fairy 400 is still holding that FC, and with a 100k score lead and counting right now as we move into this final section of the map.
My God.
I don't think it's going to be enough. And UK is going to be taking a break point of Russia on their protect. What on earth?
Okay, this was not in my bucket list. Like, United Kingdom, hello? This is the team, mind you, that got completely gapped by the Russians in grand finals of IGG European Cup, and now look at that. Insane team synergy from them, and of course Sparkly Fairy leading that charge. This looks like the spell backfired. And now Russia is gonna be the one catching up to United Kingdom. That is not the phrase I was expecting to say in today's match, but yet here we are, and United Kingdom are here to determine the next pick with them.
I mean, they came prepared, and it does raise a few question marks as why Russia went for this No Mod 5 Protect in the first place, when, you know, I think they could have gone for something like a speed protect, right? The free mod 1 just looks so confident for them, and UK were going to ban out some sort of tapping either way, so it just raises those questions about why Russia didn't end up going for the speed protect. But past is a past, and we just have to move forward here. UK gonna be opening up with the Hard Rock 3 pick here, the alt map here.
Well, because of course they would. It is Hard Rock 3 Snap Alt, as you already mentioned. Yankee Boy, Yankee Girl at around 125 BPM. The CS is also quite great for United Kingdom. It's not CS 5.2, it's CS 4.9, so you will have more room to focus on that Snap Alt aspect of the map. And of course, it is alt. You know who to call when there is an alt map. United Kingdom. I am very, very sure of their skills on this one.
Yeah, this Hard Rock 3, I mean, UK going back into the control is pretty unsurprising. You know, that No More 3 obviously was quite close, but, you know, UK is just known for the control, and so it's not really surprising to see them go back into it. I mean, there are still a couple of gimmick maps still left, like the Hidden 2 and the Free Mod 2, which I'm interested to see why they didn't go with something like that. But you know, maybe that's a little bit contested territory here, and they just want to go back into what they're known for in this Hard Rock 3. This one gonna be your lower BPM alt map. I think this one mainly focuses on the snap, doesn't it? With a lot of slider heavy alt here. So, you know, I think should be pretty comfortable for most of these players, but some patterns can definitely catch you off guard.
Yeah, I still, of course, think this one is going to be very much contested by both teams. So United Kingdom will really need to sweat blood to get that point, because if they get a fourth point, it's going to be 4-1, and they will be just 2 points away from sending their worst enemy into loser bracket, and it's going to be a dream come true for them. That Hard Rock 3 is going to be started. In the meantime, we also got raided by 6 EC. Hello, I really appreciate that. Thanks, guys. But yeah, at the moment, it is a very competitive match between Russia and United Kingdom, and we're going to be starting off with the intro section, on which nobody is breaking except Boriska finding a tactical miss on the side of Russia.
I mean, this is one of those crucial points that UK need to win, right? They really want to start building that momentum off the breakpoint that Russia gave them. And it looks like they're doing pretty well in doing that here. Boriska, the only one for Russia, going to be finding the early break here. Meanwhile, all other 7 players holding those FCs, but this one's a pretty long one, sitting at 3 minutes. So still plenty of time for changes to be made, and it's only a 50k score difference. But as again, this first KI here, it's Sparkly Fairy to find the miss for UK, and unmatched by Russia's side here. But I'd just like to say that Raising Dashi is the one to fall, so it's still in UK's favor.
Yeah, this is a battle of legacy now. No one wants to back down Russia. They are still very, very close on getting that lead, and United Kingdom knows that. Your full combos, Umaros and Wiggler and also Silva, the crown jewels of United Kingdom, are still holding on. Another break comes in, but nobody breaks. Nobody is breaking. 100k score advantage from the side of United Kingdom, but it could be shaken up so easily, Will. I'm just scared to think of what we will see in that next KI.
Yeah, I mean 100k is not a lot when there's still one whole half of the map left to go. And with so many high combos for both sides here, Russia is still on those two FCs, and just like I say that, Silva for the side of UK falls. It's just two FCs to 2 now, but Russia just has that combo advantage based off the recovery combos. Mariska and Merging Dashi may have found the early misses, but they have stabilized very solidly, and they're going to be pulling that score lead back ever so slowly. I mean, it's going to flip anytime soon now.
Yeah, history on one side, dominance on the other side. Who's gonna take the crown? Russia does take over the advantage, but Mozart also is here with a break. Same could be said for Wheeler. He takes down Wheeler, and that is gonna be the turning point for Team Russia. Looking like a break point unless Umarov keeps holding and there is a catastrophic collapse on the side of Team Russia, but it doesn't seem so. You made the bear angry, and that was the biggest mistake in this match for United Kingdom. After getting that breakpoint on the Protect, Russia decides to go all in, and Ice Stones have seen the map so far with the help of Rage and Dash. It's gonna be more than enough to bring United Kingdom back down to that breakpoint trade. And it's gonna be 2-4.
And that's just kind of an unfortunate loss for the side of UK, really. I mean, just impressive showings from both sides, but Russia managing to have the overall better team consistency. And yeah, it's going to be 2-3 here with Russia to respond with their own pick. UK, unfortunately, it's just going to be breakpoint for breakpoint, sorry. And Russia is the one to respond with their own pick.
And that's what I've been scared of for the entirety of this match. It's always like United Kingdom, the maps that they pick, with the exception of the Nomad 6, they're always highly contested by Team Russia. And with that, Russia, they got the next pick on their hands, so it's gonna be quite interesting to see what they go with next. Because same could be said about them. They lost their Protect, so do they really want to go for another gimmick, Will?
I think in this situation, Russia goes for something like a no mod 2, right? I think that leans quite heavily into the tapping element the UK is notably weak on, and also obviously has that additional flow aim element which can catch people off. I mean, I do know that UK has a pretty good stream roster at the end of the day, but I think Russia is just going to be on paper, favored on a map like no mod 2, but actually they're going to be going into the DT pool, going into DT1 here. Interesting choice here, honestly. I wasn't expecting them to go into the conventional aim this early, but I mean, it is a skill set that has not been touched in this matchup at all, right? And this one, you know, I guess favors Russia in the DT aspect, right? Russia, you know, loves the DT pool, loves their tapping, and so, you know, I think they're going into this one based off of that.
I mean, well, I do see the vision from Team Russia, but it's also like, this is, to put it very easily, it's just like 4 minutes of consistency, nothing burger of DT1 is what you have here. 234 BPM jumps. Yep, that's about it, and it's also very long. And you know who you need to talk to when it is consistency. And when it is just your okay-ish aim that you are more than capable to hit, it is United Kingdom. Like, United Kingdom, they are pretty good when it comes to overall aim aspect in this tournament. And also, you have the reinforcement in the face of Silva. Like, Silva is a very strong DT player, and overall for those mechanics. And in qualifiers, Silva will have insane scores on those DT maps. So that is a great buff that you have in comparison to 5EC. And of course, you also have other players who are more than capable of playing that. Still though, against Russia, that lineup is terrifying. Rage and Ashley, Icestones, Mozart, and David, those four are like the most experienced, the most prominent players of the Russian 5-digit tournament scene as a whole. So that's gonna be an uphill battle anyway. Like, even if United Kingdom is capable of playing that, that's gonna be almost impossible to win against Russia on.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one is pretty accessible, right? It's actually AR10, unlike the AR10.3 DT one we saw in the group stage. And really, the main difficulty of this is just the aim consistency, right? It's a little bit awkward, but honestly, it should not be any issue for any of these 8 players here. So, you know, it's just gonna come down to which team is overall more consistent here. Earlier on the map here, and it's Silva, the only one on the side of UK to find the incredibly early miss here. But as it stands right now, all other 7 players are holding the FCs, and Silva is just right behind there. So Russia's going to take the early score advantage, but we're going to see some more action if we want it to really be decided.
Yeah, and a break from Shamui is not gonna help United Kingdom. It's only gonna add fuel to the fire. Russia right now with a 4-way FC, and also you look at the accuracies, 99.7 from both Isons and Mausard. That is speaking volumes at the moment. They are out-acting the entire lobby by at least 2-3%. The closest to them on the side of United Kingdom is Nix with 97.7, and yeah, that is just amazing finger control aspect that you have if you're a Russian player. Sparkly Fire also with a break. One by one, United Kingdom players are just catching those unfortunate breaks while Russia is standing on business, Wilhelm. They're not shattering.
Yeah, I mean, we're still only 1/3 of the way through the map, but these 4 Russian players just look so confident in their ability to play the map. I mean, just look at those accuracies, and with UK finding multiple breaks, there's really not much they can do unless we see an absolute collapse from Russia here. I mean, there is still plenty of time for that to happen. We still have 1/2 of the map left to go, but, you know, these 4 players on the side of Russia just don't look like they're going anywhere. But just like I say that, whoever is the first one to falter here, but still 3 FCs to just 1 on the side of UK here.
Yeah, you know, they're cold, they're calculated, they're relentless. That is Russia showcasing their true power on this DT1 so far. Almost 300k score advantage. United Kingdom trying to pull themselves together, but as we're entering the last third of the map, that light at the end of the tunnel is getting more far and far away from United Kingdom. With another break from Shamui, that is not helping United Kingdom whatsoever. And you look at Russia, they still have a 3-way FC. The only question now is how far will they go, Wilhelm?
Yeah, that score lead is just continuously increasing for the side of Russia, and with that final FC down for Nuax on the side of United Kingdom, and 3 FCs still standing for Russia here into this last section of the map, there's really nothing UK can do but watch as this Russian roster just absolutely dominate on this DT1 here. And I mean, I guess this was kind of expected, right? I mean, Russia has just been so good on these DT picks, but man, this is just absolutely incredible performance from this roster here. I mean, they may find breaks at the very end here, but that is still a almost 4 million team score and counting on this DT1 to bring them back up to a even game 3-3.
Yeah, something switched in Russia when they lost their Protect. Back-to-back, winning Hardlock 3 and now DT1 in a very dominant fashion. That is what I was expecting from them. That performance is quite impressive. So, oh yeah, Tosu is trolling us a bit. It's showing that United Kingdom got the point, but that is not true if any of you is confused. Yeah, with that, it is officially now the mid-game of this match, and I think, Wilman, both teams kind of need to reconsider their primal strategies.
Yeah, I think especially for UK, I think I'm a little bit worried if they start running out of picks, right? I mean, they still have the likes of Hidden 2, Hidden 3, and maybe like Fremont 2, Fremont 3 still at their disposal, but a lot of these picks just seem so contested given the caliber of these teams. I mean, Russia has shown they can contest well on these control picks. Look at that Hard Rock 3. So really just no safe picks for either side here. But it looks like UK are going to be going into the IM here, going into Hard Rock 1, the slidery IM map.
Oh yeah, there it is. Well, you know, Russia banned Hard Rock 2, then United Kingdom picked Hard Rock 3 and they lost it. And yeah, it is still Hard Rock that they're picking, which is quite risky against Russia. I mean, considering their consistency on Hard Rocks, yeah, that you should not underestimate them. Still though, it is a completely different skill set. This techie aim. And the map is also quite short, so you know, if United Kingdom got the momentum on this map, and there's like 1 or 2 unfortunate breaks on side of Russia, it's gonna be more than enough for them to secure that 4th point. We shall wait and see how this goes. I just know both teams are capable of playing this one. Overall, when it comes to tech, because you know it's not pure tech, but still, United Kingdom, they, I would say, potentially are stronger than Russia when it comes to your raw tech aspect. Though how this will go with Hard Rock, I am not so sure, William.
I mean, I think UK can certainly contest Russia on Hard Rock for sure. You know, if you look at qualifiers, they're pretty close in their Hard Rock 1 scores, and it does seem that UK have been having a pretty good run with their Hard Rock in general throughout the group stage. But, you know, I guess this is the sort of map which we haven't seen anything really like it, because obviously it has that Hard Rock aim consistency that you're used to seeing in your Hard Rock 1, but it also features a pretty prominent slider element, which can certainly catch some people off guard. And I think there is a tricky slider section in the middle where we're gonna probably be seeing most of the breaks here, and I think being able to combo past that is going to make or break the scoreline for these teams.
Yeah, before we even start, I also want to mention just a fun fact that iZones has a top 2 leaderboard on this map with Hidden Hard Rock. So I think United Kingdom might have set up a trap for themselves. And if not, I will be really impressed. United Kingdom, I do know you have what it takes, but it is in your interest to try and counter that unstoppable force from Russia. They got 2 points back to back, and they do not seem to slow down. They also pulled up Nyx, your tapping and Hard Rock specialist that you have here. So we'll see how the debut is gonna go for Nyx. But with that, Hard Rock 1, and we're starting straight with the first KI.
Yeah, you see that sort of slidery aim here. Gonna catch everyone. Is looking pretty solid here, but Nyx and Sparkly Fairy are the ones to fall here for both sides. Gonna give UK a tiny bit of combo lead as Lix finds another break here, and that score lead is going to ever so slightly go to their side. But we're still only a third of the way in, and that devious slider section is coming up very shortly to catch these players off guard.
Yeah, 2 giants are colliding right now. We're just waiting for the first crack from either of those, but none is happening. Here is the slider section. Now there's a more so slower section, and it's only adding fuel to the fire. Like you do not know what to expect. Both teams are holding stronger than ever. The Bastions are built with perfection, but the double break from Wheeler and Sparkly Fairy, that was not something I would expect. With that, United Kingdom now are gonna be the ones in a very shaky situation as Russia. Yes, they do not have a 4-way FC, but they still have a 3-way, which is gonna be more than enough to counter Silva and Nukes, William.
Wiggle and Sparkly Fairy breaking on like almost nothing there, just on a slider, and that is just gonna give the combo advantage to Russia now. I mean, they're still holding that three-way FC and recovery on Nyx there, and that scorely is just gonna keep going to their side. Miyaza may find the break here, but 2 FCs on UK is not enough to try and take this one back. And as we move into this last section of the map, those 2 FCs on Ice Tones and Briska are just going to hold their ground, and Russia is going to be taking a break point on UK's Hard Rock 1 pick here, bringing them up to 4-3.
Yeah, United Kingdom looks like they're digging their own grave with those 2 picks that they lost back-to-back breakpoints. So now they're the ones catching up. It went all the way from 1-3 to Russia getting 3 points in a row. That is not something you want to see if you are United Kingdom. However, that is the reality we live in. And the next pick is not up to United Kingdom's disposal. It is Russian Federation, and they have a lot of maps to choose from, Wilbam. I think, yeah, they can win control maps, but do they really want to go into control right now, since I'm pretty sure United Kingdom will still pick it next time? Do you think they could go for something like AG2 or Prima 2?
I am looking at the aim consistency and also still eyeing that No Mod 2 that I've been mentioning a few times throughout this match. I mean, I think No Mod 2, as I've said before, just leans into their tapping strength against a team like UK, and they've already won 2 of the 4 Emir maps in this pool, being the Hard Rock 1 and the DQ 1. So I could easily see Russia going for just more of that aim, going into the No Mod 1 or the Hidden 1, but it looks like they're finally going to go back in the tapping, going into the No Mod 2 streamer slot. Gonna be 174 BPM flow streams here, and they do get pretty long, so stamina and flow aim is the name of the game here.
Yeah, it really is. The map though is pretty, I don't know, it's pretty short. It's 1 minute and 36 seconds around that, so almost a TV size one, I'd say, even though it does have those great flow aim sections, and overall they're pretty stamina heavy. You still cannot be so sure in Russia's victory on this one. United Kingdom, if they want a break point, that would be the perfect opportunity for them, because you know, United Kingdom, they have great flow players. They, after all, control is something that they are really familiar with, and overall their aim skills and control, that definitely tells you that, yeah, flow is something they are very okay at. It's usually just the stamina aspect and the speed aspect on the maps that United Kingdom usually bans, but this one is not really about it, William. So I think this one might be the breach in the defense that Russia has left open.
I mean, I think the short and volatile nature of this map can potentially give UK an opening into this, but I think it's just going to be so hard for them to get a breakpoint here, which, I mean, it would be amazing if they could get it, but just when it comes to the tapping, given that the stamina requirement for this map is quite high, especially compared to last week's No Mod 2, I don't know. I think just given that Russia has been so dominant on the tapping and UK just doesn't seem to like it at all, I don't know. I really don't really know if UK could win this one. I mean, maybe the lower BPM streams could, the lower BPM, sorry, of this map could benefit UK in that aspect, but it's just hard to say against a roster like Russia here.
Yeah, it really is. It looks like the bear is awake, and Russia, in the face of that bear, they are not backing down whatsoever. So it is United Kingdom that will need to pull off incredible performance to get a point on their board. Mouse Arthur though with the first break, dropping first blood. Same was for Rage and Dashy. Hold on. It is not decided yet, but United Kingdom having an early advantage. The map is also quite short. We're already almost halfway through, and another break from Rage and Dash to consolidate the United Kingdom's dominance on this map. That might do the thing.
UK already have a almost 350k score lead, and with only 1/3 of the map to go, they are still holding that 4-way FC. Russia only has 2 FCs to try and contest that, and with Sparkly Fire numeral, that's only 2 FCs for the side of Russia, for the side of UK here. But that flowery square stream pattern here catches a lot of people off guard here. It's now 0 combos for the side of UK actually. It's Joseph Wavery and Meows are on the recovery to try and take this one back. The question is there enough time? That score is going back ever so quickly, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. And UK are gonna be taking the break point on the No Mod 2, bringing them up to 4-4. Wow, what an impressive showing from this UK roster here. Just so consistently good across their team.
The crown refuses to fall. What can I even say, William? This is literally it. We all thought Russia could not be stopped after getting 3 points in a row, considering 2 breakpoints, but United Kingdom, they swing right back at them, and they do not want to get knocked down to lose the bracket. 4-4, and now this is where things get really, really interesting, because the match just turned into a best of 3. 1 point for each of the teams, and we will see a tiebreaker. It's now about the pure cold-headed skills that both teams have. DT4 is this? Yeah, this is the last pick of United Kingdom. Some sort of a death wish. If this one doesn't work out, it's gonna be a terrible decision for United Kingdom. That swingy DT4 map, they will try to make it the instrument of the execution.
I mean, I do feel like there might have been better picks for you to go into, but I think this one is pretty reasonable, all things considered, right? UK are still just doing their control thing, and this map, the DT4 here is all about the control, right? It's your swing DT, plenty of doubles, plenty of swing rhythm, and plenty of, wide flowy patterns as well in the KIs, which I think will really catch people off guard. Does seem like we have been seeing pretty high scores on this map throughout this week. I think it has been, quite accessible to most, but again, it's all about just consistently being able to hit those patterns in the KIs.
Yeah, that is true, because all the definitions that you give into those patterns, it all also adds up to the map being AR10. So it's not just bread and butter. Like, you could find a break on literally anything, and we have seen some of the stronger teams getting those unfortunate misses and losing DT4 against the weaker ones. So if United Kingdom is confident enough in this one, I can see them picking this one. I'm wishing them best of luck. Wiggler, Silva, Umarath, and Sparkly Fairy to save the day against Russia, who's sending in their 4 core players. Of course, the squad is here: Mouseart, Rage and Dashy, Wavy, and Ice Tones. This is probably the most important map of this match so far, Wilbam. And whoever wins this one basically is like 80% guaranteed to win the entire match.
Quite possibly so, but we just have to see how this one turns out. Looks like Russia is going to be taking the early score advantage just based on accuracy here, and with Umro finding the first break there for the side of United Kingdom, that's not going to help UK at all, but Meowzar trades it just after as we get into this first KI here, and Wivery as well actually on the side of Russia. It's now 2 FCs to 3 right now, and UK is going to be pulling that score lead back, but just as I say that, Silva finds the miss, and it's 2 FCs to 2 right now, and Wiggler finds the miss. It's 1 FC to 2 right now. Russia is going to be taking the early combo lead out of this first Ki here and going to be taking a ever so slight 25k score lead out of that first Ki.
Yeah, indeed, Raging Dash and Ice Stones, the dynamic duo of Team Russia, those two have been the determining factors in so many matches they have played throughout this 5EC and 5WC. And they just cannot stop winning. What can I say? Sparkly Fairy and Umaroth are trying to catch up, but they need to see more breaks on the side of Team Russia, which is just not happening as we're entering the second Ki. Wavy does drop his combo, and United Kingdom is now back on track with 300 combo from Silva and Wiggler. That is gonna shift things over to United Kingdom slowly but surely, but still you cannot be so confident that you will get that point. You need to see at least one more break from Russia, and there you will have it, because so far Russia's grip on this map is quite strong, but it is getting more and more shaky.
And it looks like UK was pulling that back, but with Silva finding the miss for UK and those 2 FCs still holding for Russia, it looks like it's not going back anytime soon. I mean, these recovery combos on UK are trying all they can, but with 2 FCs still on Russia's side and a solid recovery on Meowser as we get into this final section of the map, we're really going to need to see those 2 break if UK wants to take this back. And with 150 score lead in the tank right now, I mean, time is running out for UK, but just like I say that, Raging Dashi is the one to fall and Meowser 2, and now that score lead is going back. But the question is there enough time for UK to take this one back?
I think there might be just enough. 10 seconds of the map left. This is the outer section, but no, like 5 more seconds, that would have been enough, but 40k. Sparkly Fairy put his biggest efforts into this map, and it was not enough. But that's a break point. Ice Stones came here and chose Violence, which is quite poetic, because Violence was his former nickname. You shall know the strongest player of Team Russia at his highest. And there he is, leaving the lobby in a very dominant fashion, securing the 5th point for his team. And now Russia is on the match point. United Kingdom, it is make or break, this do or die for them. Russia, you have the choice of securing that last pick of yours. They just need to not mess it up with them, because we have seen so many breakpoints. I will not be surprised if we see another one.
Yeah, I mean, the question here is just what does Russia go for, right? There's really not anything I would consider safe left in this pool. All these picks are pretty contested, I think. And yeah, Russia just, they need to pick wisely, right? They can either end the match right here, right now, with a 6-4 victory, or they will have to face UK on a tiebreak. And it looks like Russia are opting with the Hidden 2. Interesting pick here. I'm actually a little bit surprised by this one, honestly. This Hidden 2 gonna be your, obviously, AR8 reading map, but it blends a lot of control elements in it as well, alright? There's a lot of slidery and also flowy patterns in it, I believe, which, I don't know, I mean, Russia obviously going to be the team favorite on Gimmick, but it feels like you're walking right into United Kingdom's neighborhood here, right? This Gimmick and control mix is just something I think UK would be quite good on.
I mean, Wilhelm, this Hidden 2 is a lot of things. You have control, you have some finger control. It is quite rhythm heavy as well. Some slider aim. It could be considered even like light techy, I would say. And of course, the main point is that not even counting those crazy overlap patterns that you have in this map, it is just incredibly dense. Like, there is a lot of patterns that you're gonna be seeing on the screen constantly, and it's gonna be truly a great challenge for you to keep track of all of them and not to break. For Russia, I'm confident they know how to read this one, but same could be said about United Kingdom. I mean, they got their hands on Russia's Protect, which was Nomad 5. And if they not want to get knocked down to lose a bracket, they will need to steal another Gimmick map from Russia. And looks like they're gonna be sending Dragonfire for this one.
I mean, they've done it once, they could easily do it again, I think. But, you know, when you're against Russia, it's not going to be easy on these gimmick maps. We will just have to see how this one plays out. And, you know, this map, this Hidden 2, could be either the last map of the match, or we'll have to go to the tiebreaker. These 2 minutes and 34 seconds will decide all.
For sure. You have history on one side and dominance on the other. East versus West, you might even say. This one is gonna be the most crucial map so far before the potential tiebreaker. And if not, it's gonna be Russia taking over the lead and advancing to quarterfinals to face off against Canada. And so far, it looks like they have that victory in the back. There's a break from Wiggler, but that KI is gonna it's really gonna put those teams apart, and the United Kingdom with another break from Sparkly Fairy is not gonna be helping them whatsoever. Another one from Wavid's first break on the side of Team Russia. With that, it is still 3 FCs versus 2 FCs, and even though Mrao and Dragonfire are showing why they are worth to be in the roster, they need more breaks, more opportunities from Russia, and here it is, one from Ice Stones, another one from Baby. Dragonfire also does trade them out, but with that the situation is slightly changed to United Kingdom.
And yeah, it's breaks all across the board actually. Sound Boomer, Raging Dashi, and Mrao all finding breaks here, and that, with a full combo reset on the side of Russia, is going to give this combo advantage to United Kingdom. Wiggler and Sparkly Fairy both finding solid recovery combos here, and they are going to flip the scoreline halfway through the map. They're going to be bringing it up to just 80k score lead, which, you know, could easily go back as we get past this halfway section of the map, but they have built up that score buffer. This is exactly what they need in this situation. Those 2 combos on Wiggler and Sparkly Fairy is the things to keep an eye out of. These Russian players trying to recover the best they can, but as long as those combos hold, I think UK has this one in the bag.
Yeah, no, not like that, Russia. You need to learn from your mistakes. You picked a gimmick map, you picked Nomad 5, it backfired. And now look at you on this HD2, United Kingdom. The tide has turned and it is favoring the United Kingdom. They all are hitting that overlappy slider pattern. And with that, we're entering the last KI. 350k score advantage towards United Kingdom. Rule Britannia. They are not done, Wilbam. We're gonna live in it long enough to see the tiebreaker being played. The recreation of the grand finals of the 5-digit European Cup. It's gonna be right here in 5-digit World Cup 2026 round of 16, and now it's just Dragonfire's and Wiggler's show. Sparkly Fairy is also 900 comboing this map. Amazing performance from them. And look how the tables have turned. I'm pretty sure, Wilvan, this is giving deja vu to all of the players that are playing this match right now. But yes, here we are.
I mean, this is going to be the first tiebreaker of this round of 16 stage in the penultimate match, mind you. But we are going to be finally seeing this tiebreaker get played, and it looks like in chat a lot of these players are gonna be having these flashbacks to 5EC, which is completely understandable. And I mean, when you put these 2 teams against each other, I mean, what do you expect any less?
Not really, Wilbam. We got an ad here announcement especially for this tiebreaker, because this is a very, very important historical moment in the history of 5 digits of Russia and the United Kingdom. Those are the 2 superior countries of Europe, the strongest ones. Their rosters only slightly changed after 5EC. They brought all of their carries back, and this is the perfect opportunity for United Kingdom to prove to the world that they're finally strong enough to take down Russia on a tiebreaker. And I am ready for the show, Wilhelm, are you?
I mean, I'm just sitting back in my seat right now. I mean, this tiebreaker, really just a good blend of inconsistency and also some flowy, sort of slidery tech sort of stuff, right? I think both of these teams are fully capable of fielding a 4-man roster for this sort of tiebreaker. So it's all going to come down to that consistency, and this entire match is just going to be determined by which team does not crumble under the pressure of this tiebreaker. I mean, both teams have been in this situation time and time again, right? They played it in 5EC, so I'm sure both have that experience, have the nerve control to be able to perform well, but it's just a matter of who does it better.
Indeed, well, let's be so for real. This match does not deserve to be in round of 16. Like, I can very easily expect this happen in like semifinals or quarterfinals, maybe even finals with loser bracket or something like that. Because those two teams are just amazing. They have their experienced players, they have their core, they have their synergy. And it's just sad that one of those will have to drop down to loser bracket because they do not deserve that. I'm a huge sucker for those two, and I cannot even pick favorites in this one because both teams are just so incredibly entertaining to watch, and I will be happy with whatever outcome we get on this tiebreaker.
Oh my god, I mean, as you mentioned, right, why are we seeing this match in round of 16, man? Like what on earth? How have these two teams done it? But we just have to wait and see. It looks like the players are finally starting to funnel into lobby, and it does look like we see the roster for the United Kingdom side. Gonna be Wiggler, Sparkly Fairy, Umaroth, and Shimui. Pretty understandable roster here. It's gonna be kind of the control squad, right? These four known for their control and just general all-round consistency. And it looks like the Russian players will be funneling very slowly. You got Meowzart, Frinden, Wavery, and I would imagine Ice Tones probably come out for this side of Russia here on this tiebreaker.
Well, there's only two possibilities. It's either Ice Stones or Sound Boomer who steps in and picks easy on a tiebreaker like he did last time against United Kingdom. But it looks like this time they're picking more of a safe option because, if they lose this one, it's gonna be a long journey. In 5EC it was different. Because like if Russia lost, they still would have played bracket reset. So you cannot risk it like that with an easy from Sound Boomer. So it's gonna be that 4-man lineup from Russia and the United Kingdom. Any changes in the roster, because we do see some players step out, but no, never mind. That's gonna be that. And here we have our tiebreaker. There's a lot of consistency, a lot of techie elements. It's a Gazimal map, so you could figure what the map looks like. And with that, the clash of two empires is gonna begin. As we see good luck, have fun in chat. Round 2 of the greatest European rivalry in 5-digit is happening right now. If you just joined, let me take you for a ride, ladies and gentlemen, because you are gonna witness Sound Boomer picking easy once again. That is right, well, I cannot believe I'm saying that. I thought that was a one-time offer from him in 5EC Grants, but apparently not. There he is. In 5 minutes, we will find out the winner, and we are also seeing an abort, which is quite tragic, honestly.
Oh my god, dude, we're just delaying the inevitable here. I mean, after this abort, we should be able to get in the map. The good luck, have funs are coming back at you now, and I mean, as you mentioned, in 5 minutes, we will be able to determine who moves forward in the winner's bracket to face the absolute behemoth that is Canada, and who will unfortunately have to drop down into the loser's bracket. I mean, seeing a team like either of these teams drop into the loser's bracket this early is genuinely just shocking. And I mean, we'll just have to find out which one it is. Meowzart, Arstone, Soundboo, and Wavery for the side of Russia, and Wiggler, Sparkly Fairy, Umaroth, and Shimui for the side of United Kingdom here. It looks like Wavery may have some technical issues here again.
It does seem so, but I'm not honestly even sure if we're allowed to make a second abort. I guess not, and Russia will be catching up. Oh, hold on. Was that disconnect from the player? Oh, that's quite questionable. I'm not sure what should be done in this case. So unless United Kingdom calls the abort, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be 3 versus 4, and from what I know. Oh my god, that is such a terrible situation to be in right now.
Yeah, this is just really unfortunate for Russia here. Wavery just struggling with those technical difficulties, and Russia are gonna have to fight this one as a 3v4. And as it stands right now, all players holding the FCs into this first KI here.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be make or break for Russia trying to win 3 versus 4. We know what those players are capable of. Maybe the Destiny will be on their side. Still, nothing is decided. Still, a 7-way FC from the entirety of the lobby. First KI is not an issue for any of those phenomenal, fantastic players. But things are gonna change sooner or later, and then we will have a more clearer picture from Russia. But on a regular basis, they need to see more breaks from United Kingdom, because even if they 3-way FC is not gonna be enough, as United Kingdom is holding a 4-way, unless there is now a break from Shimui, but it is also traded by Sound Boomer. So things are looking quite shabby, especially after a full combo reset on the side of Team Russia. Look at that, Wilhelm.
And yeah, it's just Umaroth to lock it out with the last remaining FC 1/3 away through the map, but she misses on a slow slider. And now with a full combo reset across all 7 players in the lobby right now, I mean, UK just has that massive score buffer that Russia just, I don't know if they're going to be able to take back. It's really unfortunate that they only have 3 players, but I mean, 300k score difference is still just going to be a tall ask to take back.
Yeah, indeed, and it doesn't seem like Baby is playing the map on himself. He is in the lobby, but he's not participating. Was that right? His teammates are trying their best to recover. But with that, you look at the scoreboard, 350k to the side of United Kingdom, and it's only growing at this point. Easy multiplayer is not gonna save Sound Boomer like it did last time on Furiosa Melodia. And the United Kingdom are now in the driver's seat, Wilhelm.
Yeah, I mean, they just have that 400k score lead going into this last third of the map, and there's just really no combos on the side of Russia to take this back in any secure fashion. All of those combos in United Kingdom recovering pretty nicely, apart from Wiggler finding that early break here. And even though 2 of those combos break on that brutal flow AMXL decel section there, I mean, it's just Meowser on the side of Russia, and he's being matched directly by Shimui on the side of United Kingdom. So there's just really nothing Russia can do with this 500k score lead going into this last section of the map.
Yeah, we can only now just spectate this 1v1 of Shimui versus Meowser, but that's not helping Russia. That is the final nail in the coffin. That loss of Baby and those breaks across the board on the side of Team Russia. With that United Kingdom, they're finally gonna get that victory against Russia that they've been trying to get all the way back in 5v6. They lost them 2 times, but this one is gonna hit different. United Kingdom for the win in round of 16 against Russia on a tiebreaker, and I congratulate them. But Wilhelm, I am just extremely sad that that is the situation we are in right now. If only Wavy was there, it would have been so much more competitive.
Yeah, I think this is just a very bittersweet victory here for United Kingdom. I mean, locking it out with the 600k score lead on Russia's 3 players here, but I mean, that can't feel good for either side here. Russia just obviously not having that 4th player to play with, and UK may have won, but I mean, it doesn't feel good to win against
Yeah.
just a 3-man roster here. United
Like
Kingdom will be the ones moving forward unless we receive any further notifications. And Russia is going to be the one dropping down into the losers bracket, unfortunately, to face, I believe, Japan for next week.
should
Um,
be.
But I mean, yeah, this is just genuinely unfortunate, I think, for both teams here.
Yeah, like hear me out, like that's not the type of victory United Kingdom wanted to get against Russia. Like, yeah, they won, but it would have been way more poetic if it was a very close tiebreaker and either of the teams won. That would be the perfect matchup to end off this round of 16 stage. But this is what we have to face, and sometimes shit like that just happens, and there's nothing that can be done about it. It doesn't seem like there's gonna be a replay or anything like that. So yeah, that is a 100% true outcome that we have in this matchup. The United Kingdom finally did get their revenge on Russia, and they will face Canada in quarterfinals winners bracket next weekend. And Russia will have a long and interesting journey. I am more than 99% sure on this one in losers bracket, because if a seed 5 team gets in losers bracket that early into the tournament, that is just gonna be a catastrophe for those lower seeded teams in the losers bracket. So I wish them best of luck, Wilhelm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just genuinely kind of devastated that we did not see Russia at their full force on this tiebreaker. And United Kingdom gonna be taking the victory. Obviously, Russia gonna be making huge waves in the losers bracket for sure. But I mean, with that, I think we can kind of wrap it up here. This is the last match of the round of 16 stage here, so should be seeing the quarterfinal showcase soon, maybe. Hello Akui.
That pool showcase is going to be tomorrow. No time to be determined. Other than that, captains, if you are still awake, you will receive a ping within the next hour. So yeah. Other than that, good match.
Good match.
All right, yeah, good match. Thank you, Aki, for the insight. But yeah, Wilhelm, I think with this, it's gonna be us signing off.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't have anything more to add.
Yeah,
but this has been the 5-Digit World Cup 2026. Huge shout out to Pitxort for streaming, and of course, my Angel Nakuru for the ref. But with that, his name has been Philoxen, my name has been Willam, and we will be signing off. Bye bye.
Bye bye everyone.